Good evening, brothers. How are you guys doing? Give me a shout if the music's too loud, too quiet. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Living Ghost, Zacharis, Dolph. Good evening, guys. Mark F, how you doing? Subscribe to Warhammer Plus and watch the videos. Really enjoyed them. Got series 300 vibes off the Blood Angels episode. Yeah, I enjoyed the Blood Angels episode. Just they seem to have a lot of gene seeds, right? Like a lot. Like how many brothers died in the making of that video. Good evening, Tatterday. How you doing? So as you probably know, I've spoke about it a few times. I got a tournament coming up in like 2 weeks. These are the last 3 models that I need to finish for this tournament. We have my converted Sanguinary Priest, who needs a lot of work, I guess. We have 2 company veterans that need a bit of work. I was gonna grab a lightning claw, I think. I don't remember how I was gonna say, I think I edge highlighted it and then dry brushed it. So that's probably that. Yeah, kind of like company veterans. They're fun little models. They've been scoring me really pretty consistent points as well. That's where we'll start. We'll start on this company veteran. Hey Scara, I'm not sure I'm saying your name right. Welcome. Hey, good evening, Jeff. How you guys doing? Give me a shout out in the chat on what you guys are working on tonight. Have you subscribed to Warhammer Plus? Let's just keep the conversation flowing, get some tunes going, and spend a couple hours doing some hobbying. I'm excited. And I think I'm going to start with a little bit of Screamer Pink on a couple of gems. You have fallen to the Black Rage. What does that mean? That means you've bought Warhammer Plus, or you've become a member of the channel so long that you now have a black helmet next to your name. If it is that, then that's awesome, Adam. Thank you for the ongoing support. Let me tweak this music so we get a bit of variation, because I think it's just going to loop 3 songs. Just finished painting and basing my last 3 models for 2K list and 2 company veterans. Wow. Small world, I guess, because that is exactly what I was doing. But yeah, company veterans are fun models, I guess. I like how, you know, some other factions get really cheap ways to score, retrieve Octaria's data and stuff. This is one way the Space Marines can do it pretty effectively, I guess. Plus their power level's pretty low, so you can reserve them almost every game and not have to worry about it. I think company veterans are 2 power level, right? If you just have 2 of them, or maybe it's 3, but it's low regardless. And if anyone has any comments on yesterday's Death Guards video, let me know on that one as well. I hope it was interesting, a little bit different to what we normally do on the channel. I'm going to try something. Do you know what? Next week we've got the last Forge World video, and people have been waiting for the tier list series, so we'll have that next week. And then after that, I've got an idea for like something slightly new, or slightly different, I guess would be a better way to say it. So I'll try that the week after. But yeah, I enjoyed Warhammer Plus. I thought maybe I'd watch the episode again. Maybe, you know, like when I'm watching an episode of TV, I've got my 1-year-old daughter running around in the living room, and you've got to keep half an eye on her. But like, you know, when the guy, oh, spoilers. I better not spoil it for anyone that's not watched it yet. Thanks, Mick, I appreciate that. Good evening, Robert, how you doing? But yeah, I'm excited to finally take this list to tournament and then I'll make a video. I'll probably make some videos while I'm at the tournament, or you know, like I'll film some bits and then I'll edit it in my hotel room or whatnot, because I've got to drive to this tournament. So I'm excited to share some things and learn some things and hopefully give some information. Prepping for a game against Thousand Suns with 12 Psychers, 19 Cabal points per turn. I am not hopeful for it, sadly. Yeah, that sounds pretty rough. Rude. Here's a thought. What about Soul Warden? Because I think that is actually like a great trait. I used it in a couple of my games and I kind of liked it. I think I used it on the wrong character, but I think Soul Warden's I think it's pretty strong. I generally quite like it. My first issue of the new Imperium magazine showed up. So the first issue of the Imperium magazine is actually pretty interesting, Mark. I saw somebody say that they like tried to pick up a few copies of issue 1 because issue 1 basically has like the Primaris Lieutenant that can be pretty easily converted to be a Blade Guard. So like if you got like 3 or 4 copies of issue 1, you could essentially get 4 Blade Guard veterans for about $10, right? Because issue 1 is like $1.99, I think, or maybe it's $2.99, but issue 1 is like super cheap, right? So if you could find a stockist, like a magazine place that has some stock of issue 1, you could just buy them all up and get yourself a like really cheap squad of Blade Guard veterans. I think anyway. That sounded like what the guy said he was doing. Why are we gonna hate you? I may have bought more than one issue of one. Well, I mean, if this is okay, that's exactly what I was just talking about. Buy more than one issue 1. It was useful for my friend plays Death Guard in the videos. Give me a couple of things to consider for my upcoming game against him. Oh, you're welcome, Zacharias. I dug the Death Guard video. Would be dope to see how dealing with other strong team units. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure. You know, like sometimes on YouTube videos, for whatever reason, just don't get a lot of views, and the Death Guard video didn't get a lot of views, which either means, hey, thanks Jar Miniatures, appreciate you becoming a member. I think you've been a member before. I think that's a renewal. Member times 3, yes, thank you for being a member for 3 months, much appreciated. I was gonna say, sometimes the videos don't get a lot of views, and it can be that the videos that I make suck, I guess, or it can be that they're on a specific subject matter. So I guess if you don't have Death Guard to play against, or you already know how to beat Death Guard, you don't watch that video. But hopefully it helps some people out, because I think Death Guard are in a super strong place right now. I really thought, you know, when Chapter Approved came out, I was expecting like Plague Burst Crawlers to go up in points, and I was expecting Sanguinary Guard to go down in points, but apparently I know nothing. Because I was really surprised that Plague Burst Scrawlers stayed at 165 points, because I was like, if you compare them against like a Predator Annihilator, which I think is 5 points more, they absolutely wiped the floor with it. Like, it's not even a comparison. A Plague Burst Crawler probably kills like a Predator Annihilator in 2 or 3 turns. A Predator Annihilator will do like 2 wounds to it or something ridiculous, you know? Hey Rogel Dorn, thank you, appreciate the love from Imperial Fists, I guess. I bought 8 issues of Imperium, and there's one in the post, so I now have 9 Blade Guard veterans. You were a genius then, Robert, because I went onto the website today for what is it, whatever it's called, Hatchet Part Works, to see if I could order a couple issue 1s for like $2-3, because I already got 7 Blade Guard veterans, because I got 2 boxes of Indomitus, and I made one of the lieutenants a Blade Guard, like a Blade Guard sergeant, because like I guess I don't need 2 Primaris lieutenants with storm shields. And yeah, when I went on, it was pretty early this morning. I think I saw the post on Reddit maybe first thing. I went on this morning and they were already sold out, so I guess other people had the same idea as you. And 9 wardens. I guess I'm starting a Necron army now. I suppose you could start a Necron army, or you could put them up on eBay, I guess, right? Both would probably be a valid tactic. I'm going to do a little bit. I need a brown. I hate playing against Death Guard and Sisters, don't mind any other matchup. Yeah, I mean, Death Guard and Sisters are my two teammates in this tournament. Andrew is taking Sisters because it's a 3-player tournament. Sorry, it's called Clan Wars and it's 3-player teams. So my teammates are Andrew on Sisters and Colin on Death Guard. So at least my teammates are using very meta armies. Mine is different, but I think I've got my mojo back. I beat both of them. I beat Andrew this week. I beat Colin last week. I've got a game against the new Orc Codex on Monday night. I'm feeling a bit more confident, and I think after the chapter approved book came out, it took me a while to figure out exactly what units to be using for Blood Angels, and I think I figured it out now. So hopefully, if we can beat Orcs on Monday night, I'll be feeling pretty good. I've got like another week till this tournament, but I'll be feeling pretty good about my list. And if the list does well, I'll definitely make a video on the list and explain like all the ins and outs of why I use things and how I use things, because it's been tricky since chapter approved came out, honestly. Like I went on quite a big, like I think I played like 7 games and only had 1 win or something right after chapter approved dropped. It was tough. Hey R, good evening, how you doing? How do I paint Blood Angels gold for a kind of grim dark scheme? There's going to be a lot of people in here that talk about how to paint gold. I can show you one of my gold models and you can decide if it's grim dark enough for you. So, John, I've put a link for ordering multiple copies on Imperium 1 in the admin channel on Discord for you. Okay, thank you. That's kind. I found Deathwing are difficult to play against. Yeah, I mean, Deathwing, I guess, with their inner circle rule is going to be a real solid counter against us, right? I don't know if this is going to be grim dark enough for you. But this is how I do my gold. Whoa, let's not drop the models. And this guy has been varnished, so like I varnished them all when I'm finished with them, and I guess he's magnetized to a certain extent. So I spray them black, and then I actually spray them Retributor Gold, which is this one. But that's actually a lot of brighter gold, but then I just wash the entire model with what is it? Reichland Flesh Shade. So it gives it sort of, it takes the edge off how gold this is, because this gold is way more gold. Maybe I can show you side by side. Look how bright that gold is compared to this guy. The Reichland Flesh Shade just brings it all down and adds a bit of a reddy, bronzy hue to it. Hey Rogel Darn, appreciate you becoming a member. That is very kind. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being a member. It's another glorious day in the universe. Sisters are pretty rough right now, though. Rogel Dorn. Sisters, we were talking about it. I played Andrew on Monday night on stream. You can watch that game if you want. It was super close. I think I won by like about 4 victory points. And Andrew's Sisters list is very, very, very Alpha Strike. Oh, thanks, Tristan. Yeah, it's a very simple scheme to do, right? Like, you can literally spray them black, you can literally spray them gold, or you could just paint Retributor Gold. The Retributor Gold in the spray can is very expensive. It's like 19 bucks a spray, a can or something. But it saves, like, it means you don't do any, it means you don't do any edge highlighting. So you can do this pretty quickly. And I have actually done my Vanguard Veterans, my Sanguinary Guard, and my Blade Guard Veterans all in gold. Just at the time I was doing them, I'd been painting too much red and I wanted a break. For Adam says, for Grimdark, I would spray Retributor Gold, then wash them down with Aggro Earthshade and Null Oil. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. That would give them that would probably be more Grimdark than what I'm doing. My Reichland Flesh Shade. Reichland Flesh Shade is a bit like Agrax Earth Shade, but just rather than have the brown in it, it's a little bit more red. So, but I mean, for me that works because I kind of like my gold to feel a little red, I guess. Because we are Blood Angels and we are red, I guess. But yeah, the sisters list that Andrew tends to bring are super alpha. They're not alpha strike. They don't hit you in turn 1, but he's got like basically has 1,000 points of reserves, and he has like 500 of those reserves coming in turn 2 and 500 of those reserves coming in turn 3. So we were saying that we're calling it a beta strike or a Batex strike, where it's like he isn't hitting you in turn 1 insanely, but like when all his reserves come in, he is melting stuff in both close combat and shooting. So it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one to play against sisters right now. But yeah, Deathwing with their 4+ transhuman on Inner Circle is also very tricky. Mick says Retributor Gold and Lash on all the Nuln Oil. Yeah, that would work as well, I guess. Like, Nuln Oil will just make everything quite... I mean, you could almost put Nuln Oil over any colour if you wanted to be grim dark, right? What's up, Reziel? Good evening. I like gold for Blood Angels done with a white undercoat for brightness, Retributor Gold spray, and Seraphim Sepia wash over it, which gives it a burnished look. Seraphim Sepia is a reddish wash as well, if I'm correct, or is it the purplish wash actually? It's maybe more like a... Yeah, I think all those washes could work. You could go Agrax, you could go Reichland, or you could go Seraphim. All will give you obviously a slightly different effect. And I guess, you know, you just... I was going to say just pick... If you have some spare bits or something, you could always try the scheme on a spare arm or something, and then once you find what you're happy with, move on. I like the filthy look. Yeah, I mean, Nuln Oil definitely gives you a filthy look. I tend to put Nuln Oil over all my lead belcher, and it just makes all my metals, like I'm doing it right now, literally, like anywhere I've painted lead belcher, I'll just put Nuln Oil over it, even if it's not recessed. Like, I'll just put it right over the top and try not leave too many tide marks. And it really just gives that null, like, because Nuln Oil is quite a dark silver already. So I feel like when you do that, you get like this sort of like, just like the metal is gnarly. I was doing it on this guy earlier, yeah, on the chainsword, right? And it just makes it like, just looks dark and like grimy almost, I would guess, is a way to describe it. So yeah, I like to put Nuln Oil over all my metal, even, and just try not let it pool anywhere so you don't get those tide marks. What's the best topping on pizza and why is it pineapple? Controversial. I actually don't hate pineapple on pizza. I'll probably get flamed on the chat for saying that. It's not my favourite, but I don't hate it. But yeah, random question. But I mean, pineapple and pizza always gets people talking, doesn't it? Some people have a real, I don't know, some people just hate pineapple pizza. I don't, as I say, it's not my favourite, but I don't hate it, so I'm not sure why people hate it as much as they do, but some people really do hate it. When I was a kid, right, you know when you go to a birthday party when you're a kid, and the only reason that this is fresh in my mind is I actually took my like 1-year-old to a birthday party today, and they had like, you know, the really cheap pizza, like cheese and tomato pizza that you give to kids, like it's on a really thin and crispy base, and like, I guess like, you know, it's just cheap pizza, right? Like it's just, you know, frozen cheap pizza, and that's what you would give to kids when they're small, right? Because they maybe don't like toppings, so they used to just get cheese and tomato. When I was small, we actually used to get it with cheese and tomato, but with baked beans. And the baked beans was like underneath the cheese and tomato. So like when you would bite into this pizza, basically you had like this layer of like piping hot baked beans on the pizza, and like every single time you bite into it, you basically burned your mouth on these like absolutely roasting hot baked beans in the middle of the pizza. So there's one for you. What do you think of baked beans underneath the cheese and tomato? I don't know why the fuck we're talking about pizza toppings, but we are. Thank you for the comment. For muted gold, use 50-50 of Army Painter's War Paints, True Copper and Gunmetal. It's the best looking grim dark gold I've seen. Sepia is a yellowish brown, basically gold. Agrax on my Sangre Guard looks grim dark and oath. I think Null Oil is perfect. Yeah, so I mean, I guess you've got so many people replying here. You should be able to get, you should be able to figure out how to make your gold the way you want it, I guess. But yeah, so I think most people are using a Retributor Armor Gold base and then working on some color over the top of that, I guess, or some wash rather. And is anyone actually, like, some people edge highlight their gold with Auric Armor Gold. I think it's spelled AURIC Gold, Auric or Auric Armor. But I don't tend to edge highlight gold. My edge highlighting is pretty much reserved for Death Company. I don't edge highlight my Red Marines either. My Red Marines are much more of like a battle ready finish. Do you know what? I've got some that I just sort of finished this morning actually, right behind me, and I'll show you what I mean by battle ready. So yeah, these are my Inceptors that I sort of finished this morning, and this is what I would say is I class this as a battle ready. So I don't do any edge highlighting, but all these recesses, every single recess, I've put Agrax Earthshade into, all around all the armor panels, all around all the joints, everything. And then, like I said, all my silver is just been Null Oil over Lead Belchers, so it's like really grimy looking. So it's kind of a clean paint style in that, like, I don't do armor damage or anything like that. But like I use a lot of washes. When I just got back into the hobby a few years back, somebody said to me that washes is like liquid skill, right? In that you don't have to be good at painting, you just have to use the washes correctly, and you can make yourself appear really good. I don't know why I've got a white transfer here, but we've got it nonetheless. It's gross. Beans are about as gross as pineapple. Okay. Yeah, baked beans never made a whole load of sense to me on pizza, but I mean, that's what I used to get when I was a kid. Baked beans underneath the cheese and tomato. Edge high tech bad. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Auric Armor is the best metallic from GW. Liberate your gold for edge highlighting for sharp edges, storm hosts. I've heard of people use storm host silver as well. I despise edge highlighting, hate it like the Death Company hate Horus. Yeah, I don't hate it, I'm just really, really slow at it, so that's why I only do it on my Death Company models. Actually, I did it on a bunch of my characters for this new edition, but that's just because I put them on black bikes. I suppose I could have painted their bikes red or gold, but like, I just like the idea of the bikes being black. I scale my effort with the rank of the models. Troops are battle ready, elites and characters get all the work. I think that's fair as well. I mean, you don't want to spend all your time working on a tactical marine or something and then be really burnt out when you have to do characters and stuff. So yeah, that's maybe why. This in some ways maybe why I do my rank and file troops in without any edge highlighting, because yeah, you can paint proportionally to the model's rank. That's a good way of looking at it, right? Especially if you're new and you're just trying to get your army ready. Like, you don't want to spend all your time getting like a 5-man squad of tactical marines, like I said, ready or something. So maybe basing it on the rank of the model is a good way to get something together a bit quicker. Beans and toast, the food of the gods. Hey, Alexander Gilliman. Oh, Gilliman's here. Roll out the red carpet, the Primarch has arrived. only he's changed his first name. All jokes aside, thank you for subscribing. Alexander, was it? I'm not sure how you say that with it. Alexandri. But yeah, welcome. Thanks. It's funny that in Britain, beans on toast is a very accepted food. Whereas like in America, I believe that people don't understand baked beans on toast. Like it's just not something that they ever eat, I think. I could be wrong here, but I did see on YouTube, like there was a video on YouTube of like an American trying beans on toast for the very first time. So what I mean by beans on toast is if you're not familiar with this, because I'm guessing some people in my chat are probably American and they're maybe not familiar with what you would do. You put your toast in the toaster, exactly like you would if you're going to have like toast with jam for your breakfast. But you wouldn't eat this for breakfast, you'd probably eat it for lunch or you'd eat it for dinner. Just put your toast in the toaster, you get the toast toasted, you take it out, you put butter on it or marmalade, margarine or whatever it is you put on toast, you know, like spread. I guess if you're trying to be healthy, whatever you're having. And then you literally just put baked beans on it. So you open like a can of baked beans and just empty the can of baked beans onto the toast. And see, when you're a student and you don't have a lot of money, you probably live on, it sounds disgusting, it's surprisingly good for the cost. Because if you think about it, right, like 2 slices of bread, like a loaf of bread is like $1, right? So 2 slices of bread is like 10 pence. A can of beans is maybe, like over here, you definitely get cans of beans for like 13 pence. So equivalent of like 13 cents. You can buy like branded baked beans if you wanted and pay like $1 a can. But if you go to like any supermarket, they'll always have like, you know, just, over here they sometimes call them simply, which just means like, it just means like cheap shit. And I don't even necessarily know it's bad, it's just not branded. So it's just beans in a can with this, in the tomato sauce or whatever it is. So you get beans in a can for about 13 pence. So basically you can get dinner for like 20 pence. So like if you are on a real budget, and as a student in Britain, you maybe don't have a lot of money and you needed to save what little money you have for buying alcohol, right? So you used to, I don't know, I've definitely had weeks where like 4 out of 5 days I would eat beans on toast. It's so cheap and it's actually not bad. Yeah, you can grate cheese on it as well. That's a good point. My friend used to do it. One of my friends actually used to do it with like spaghetti hoops as well. Because again, you can get a can of spaghetti hoops for like 10 pence. So it's basically student food, but it's probably been a few years since I've had beans on toast. Like money hasn't been quite that tight that I've needed to buy beans on toast. But like if you sat me down and said you need to eat beans on toast, I'd be like, sure, yeah, no problem. Like it's really not as bad as you think it might sound. Huge fan of the Know Your Enemy video in Death Guard. Please do orcs next. I'm sick of getting crumpled. I'm glad that you enjoyed the video, Tark. Thank you very much. What else are you putting on toast? We don't do any of that. You know, not that much. I mean, I imagine that most of the other stuff that we put on toast is the same as you guys, like jam, cheese, in France, I actually don't know if they do this in America. I'm sure they do. It's called a croque monsieur in French, and it's basically toast with cheese and ham. But yeah, beans or spaghetti hoops are about the only 2 things that I think that are maybe weird things. And I swear it's not like, maybe some people think beans on toast is the most amazing meal they've ever had, but like, I think it's more a thing about like, you're a student and you have no money and you need to eat. So how can you eat for a week on like less than $5? Well, if you have beans on toast for like, there's a lot of protein in beans as well, actually. So you actually get energy and protein from them. So it's a cheap way to live, I think. The music is making the toast talk hella intense. Okay. I'll have to break out a slice of beans on toast one night, and all you guys can look at me like, what the hell is he eating? Oh, another thing we put on toast is Nutella. Do you guys get Nutella in America? Basically, it's just you know, in chocolate spread, like in a jar. You spreadable chocolate is also something else we put on toast. I used to do buttered rice, and this conversation tonight is random. Whoever started the chat with the pizza has got us on some random tangent. I would donate blood plasma and get myself McDonald's instead. I mean, yeah. McDonald's is... Oh! Here's a question then for Americans. Because there is a few of you in here. Do you guys know what I mean by a chip butty? Chip, C-H-I-P, space butty, B-U-T-T-Y. Let's see if you know what a chip butty is, and then I'll really blow your mind with a weird thing that we do in Scotland. I'll have to try out beans on toast, says Sean. Yeah, you should try it. It's not as bad as you think. If you're looking for a quick lunch sometime you can make, because you can obviously make beans in the microwave. It's really, I think you'll be surprised. We'll get in the chat one night. Someone will come in the chat and be like, I have no idea what you're talking about as an American. Okay, so if you right, you guys, like, in America you have French fries, right? And French fries are those little thin chips, right? Over here we do chips, they're like much thicker. Like, let me think. Chips. I'm gonna show you a photo, right? Like chips like this, right? Like not French fries, but they are just big hunks of potatoes, right? Yeah, steak fries. Yeah. So big hunks of potato, but they're fried like you would fry French fries, right? And that's what we would call chips, right? So get this, chip butty. You get 2 slices of bread, you butter one side of one bread, you put ketchup on the other side of the bread, and you spread the ketchup around, and I suppose you spread the butter around as well, right? So you've got 2 slices of bread, one with butter on it, one with ketchup on it. You put those big chips in on top of the butter, and then you make a sandwich with the big chips, and that's what we call a chip butty. And that is actually really, really good. I love a chip butty, man. Just speaking about, I haven't had a chip butty in like, honestly, like 5 years, but just, oh man, I love a chip butty. I am surprised actually, now that I mention it, that I haven't had one in that long. But again, it's like student food. It's like you can't, like, it's like you would go to the, it would be like you would go to the fish and chip shop, right? And the chips cost you $1 for a portion of chips, but like the fish costs like $5. So you don't have enough money to buy the, fish. So what you end up just buying is the chips, and then you go home and you put them in a sandwich with the bread. But yeah, no, chip butties, they're good as well. Yeah, we don't actually do peanut butter and jam or jelly, I guess, over here much. That's one thing that's I guess that's what you guys have got, and what we've got is we've got chips. Bollocks. Potato sandwich. Yeah, it's a potato sandwich. Yeah, it's weird how like we speak the same language, but for some reason in the different parts of the world we do some things very, very differently. try peanut butter powder. It's good when you mix it with milk. I'm not sure we really, like, I'm not sure shops over here really sell peanut butter powder, you know that? Now I want chips, says Benjamin BRB. Okay. The government gives out free cheese. Well, that's kind of them. I don't think we get free cheese over here if you're poor. Cooking lessons for the Blood Angels Commander. Yeah, do you know what? We should just make a channel where we do the most ridiculous Scottish, the weird Scottish things that we eat. But yeah, like pizza on pineapple. Sorry, pizza on pineapple, pineapple and pizza. That's where this all started, guys. What a random Saturday night. But yeah, thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We are also willing to take questions about Blood Angels in the chat if anyone wants to go back onto the 40k topic. But at the same time, I'm happy to just shoot the shit. You know, it's Saturday night. I'm relaxing. It's been a long day. Marmite is gross as hell. I'm not really like, I don't know if I've ever really eaten Marmite. We definitely have it over here, but no, I don't think I've ever really eaten it. What's your camera setup for these streams? Well, I've got two, obviously, one looking down and one looking at me. The one looking at me is like my DSLR, which is a Canon EOS, and the one actually looking down viewing the models is actually my iPhone. The camera in the new iPhone is actually really impressive. You'd be surprised at how good it is. It's possibly the best camera I've ever had in a well, it is the best camera I've ever had in a phone, and in terms of like the low light camera on it is kind of amazing. But I mean, you could do what I'm doing with a webcam and with a webcam in your mobile phone, I guess. I know there's also an app for an Android. I think it's called Droid Cam or something, that changes your Android phone into a webcam, because that's what we use for our live games. We've got like an older Samsung phone, and that's what we use in our live streams, or our live battle reports. We use a Samsung phone for the overhead camera. If you look at the description, YouTube thinks you're playing Space Hulk Vengeance of the Blood Angels. Yeah, YouTube always tries to auto-complete it. Like, you type in, like, it's like, what's your video about? And I type in Warhammer 40,000, and it tries to auto-complete it to something, and it's like, YouTube, there's nothing to auto-complete to, but it likes to do it anyway, I guess. It doesn't understand that we're just hobbying. I think, I could be wrong here, but I think most people that do 40k hobby videos are maybe over on Twitch. But like, do you know what, Reziel? I have a cheap webcam, and I also have the DSLR, and like, it's only recently I got the DSLR, so I basically streamed for the first year using like a $30 webcam. I only bought the webcam because of COVID. I was stuck at home because I couldn't work from my office, so I kind of needed like just a cheap and cheerful webcam. So you don't need to have an expensive DSLR to make videos or to stream. As long as you're interesting, I guess, that's probably where to start, right? My Samsungs have a stupidly amazing camera too. Then if there's an app called Droid Cam, and I think it's about £4, and you'll be able to convert your Samsung into a webcam. Building some bolter inceptors right now. Hey Gavin, I just finished painting my bolt inceptors this morning. I was putting my transfers on them. I'm excited to take them to this tournament in a few weeks' time. They don't do as much damage obviously as the plasmas, but like I feel like I get value out of them. I like them. I'm debating buying a Canon M50 Mark II instead of an iPhone. Thoughts? That's the exact camera I bought at the end. Like, what are you using it for, I guess, is my question. Because... yeah, like, I literally just bought that camera, let's say... 2 or 3 months ago? What other platforms am I on? I'm on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitch. I can put the link into the chat. I mean, I always appreciate the follows on Twitch, but I'm not a Twitch affiliate or anything like that, but I'm just on Twitch. If you want to follow there as well, that's cool. There's no... I mean, YouTube is my main platform though, right? Cheap and cheerful, by all means. It's not copyrighted. It's something that we would say in the UK all the time. Cheap and cheerful. Playing them in Crusade for the first time tomorrow. I'm excited as well. Yeah, the cool thing about the Inceptors, the bolter ones, if you use them from Deep Strike, remember there's a stratagem you can use to make them shoot on the turn. They can still perform an action and shoot in the same turn, which is pretty helpful, I find. It's 2 CP, so it's a big one, but yeah, it's been... You know, before I was using a Death Company, and obviously Death Company can't perform any actions. So I like the Inceptors a lot more than the Death Company because they score me points, I think. Showing off 3D prints and painted minis. Well, I mean, you'll get better photos from the M50, but what you'll need is... You'll need probably like a light, like a soft light or something. You'll probably also need like a tripod, right? I mean, the M50 does do 4K video, and I think the 4K video is better than the iPhone, because I've tried to take 4K video on the iPhone. Maybe I'm dumb. I'm not super sure how you actually take... I'm sure the iPhone can take 4K video, but I'm not actually sure how you set it up to do that. But like, you know, it's got an interchangeable lens. It only comes with 1 battery as well. That was actually a nightmare about the M50. So if you buy the M50, you don't get a memory card. You only get 1 battery, which honestly doesn't have great battery life in it, so you kind of need to buy a second battery. You don't get any way to record while it's plugged in, so you need to buy, like, it's called an AC coupler. So you need to buy something else to let you, like, I had to buy another thing. So on top of buying a second battery, you need to then buy something that lets you use the camera when it's plugged into the wall, and yeah, there's no way to charge. Yeah, there's no way to charge the camera without taking the there's no way to do that. You have to take the battery out to charge it. Like, it's not one of these ones you could plug in via USB and charge or something. So that's, I mean, it's certainly a good camera, and I've had some amazing footage from it, and I've had some amazing photos from it. But like, I guess probably all tech these days have perks and disadvantages, right? I guess. You go into settings and allow 4K 30 FPS. Alright, well that's the same as what the OS does, 4K 30 FPS. I saw yesterday with your changes to membership, what are your future plans with it? I just added some higher tier memberships, so if people want to donate more, they can. There's literally no requirement to do it, Camille. We had someone come in on Patreon. Like when I set up on Patreon, I put like a really high tier on there, just cause. And someone's on the top tier on Patreon. So yeah, I don't expect anyone to go to the high tier. There's literally no requirement to do it. It's just there in case someone's rich and really likes my content and wants to give me more money. It's as simple as that. So yeah, I mean, I'm not changing anything with the channel. I just set up a couple of higher tiers for anyone that would like to support further, but like there's no... The plan for the channel is very much to continue to do tactics videos. I would like to do some painting videos, I really would. I mean, they obviously take a lot of time and effort to do painting videos, and I do a tactics video every week, and that obviously takes a lot of time and effort as well. And sometimes they don't go as well as they should. For example, like that Death Guard video actually took me like a shitload of time. Like, I worked on that video for like, I want to say like 5 nights, so like 15 hours maybe on that Death Guard video, and like it didn't get that many views. So like it literally, you know, views are money on YouTube. So 15 hours of time for, if I showed you the analytics for the video, it probably made less than $5 that Death Guard video, right? So the way that I can afford to make this channel work is with help from supporters and Patreons, right? Like it doesn't work from YouTube monetization, I guess. So there is some higher tiers now. Don't feel pressured or anything about them, but I hope that answers your question. That's why they're there, I suppose. Yeah, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna create the same content I do every week. I'm not gonna charge for the content. Yeah. God, I'm just making such a mess of this lightning claw. Hold on. So yeah, nothing is changing, I guess. Should I just try and dry brush this on? I don't know. Jack Harper, who came third in the Orlando Open, ran a 5-man death company with Thunderhammers and jump packs. I don't know if you would pimp up the death company. I actually hate that, Alan. We talk a lot about death company on this channel. We talk a lot about with people that run death company as well, and we sort of feel that like if you want to do death company, you either and you want that Forlorn Fury threat, you either do 10 or you do none. So it's very strange to see 5 death company with Thunderhammers. Like, that is a super expensive squad, and it's not a survivable squad at all, right? Like they're just Marines with a 6+ feel no pain. Like they do not survive any sort of firepower coming in against them. Yeah, I'm just gonna tidy this up after. I'm struggling with this just now. So yeah, I know he ran 5 death company with all Thunderhammers, but like generally I don't recommend that. I mean, like, the guy's obviously playing at the highest level, and he was using terrain like big time to his advantage. If that squad ever gets left in the open, like, any enemy is going to know how expensive that is. They're 40 points a model or something, right? They're just going to instantly delete it, right? Like, if I was any other player against Blood Angels and I saw a death company like that, that would be like #1 shooting priority, right? Like we shoot that squad off. It's so expensive. It's so much to lose. That's my opinion on it. I mean, good for him getting so high up in the scoring. That would have been taking some doing, considering where Blood Angels are currently. I stopped running jump pack lists like that as well because my win rate sucked with them. I've had in 9th edition, I have so much more win rate using balanced armies. You know, like how I talk about using shooting to a certain point. I'm plugging into AVO 4K using HDMI. Is that possible? To use OBS using a wall outlet. AV.io, I'm not sure what that is. I know you would need like a 4K capture card, I guess. I do not have a 4K capture card. They're pretty expensive. I just have a 1080 card. So this camera right now will not, like, I'll only be filming on 1080. My Blood Angels are Primaris only. And purple could use a quick battle ready tutorial on that. Well, yeah, I mean, I can make that's one of the videos I want to make, is a battle ready tutorial for Blood Angels for sure. Pacing wise, yeah. I like having 1 or 2 in my vets, but not everyone does. Do you put Thunderhammers and Vanguard vets, or all Lightning Claws? At the moment, I'm running 1 Thunderhammer on the Sergeant and 5 with Lightning Claws. But I've been all over the place with them. Sometimes I actually like taking models and Vanguard veterans with chainswords, like Storm Shields and chainswords, so that like when some damage comes in, because there's always going to be some damage that comes in, right? So you can allocate it to the cheapest models, which are those chainsword guys. So, but yeah, Lightning Claws seem to be the popular choice right now, but Thunderhammers are fine as well. Thunderhammers on Vanguard vets are a little bit cheaper than Death Company, but I guess it really just does come down to the fact that if you've got Storm Shields on them, they are quite a bit more survivable, I find. And survivability is a big thing in 9th edition, right? They're called Death Company for a reason. They're sent on their suicide mission and they don't last long. Yeah, I mean, that's one way to look at it. I generally don't like taking models as suicide troops. Like, I never like to throw units away, which is why I don't ever Forlorn Fury my Death Company. I know some people love Forlorn Fury, but yeah, I very, very, very like, I haven't run much Death Company in 9th edition, honestly. They used to be a staple in my 8th edition list, but yeah, I haven't run them much in 9th, and even if I was going to, I generally just wouldn't throw them away. Like, I don't like throwing models away to die. You're not wrong, I dropped £500 on a 4K capture card, then probably you're going to be better off getting the cannon. Just be aware that, like, the lens, you only get one lens with it, right? So if you need, and there's no manual zoom as well, or automatic zoom, like it's completely manual on the zoom on the lens I have. I have no idea. I actually have no idea if you can get like a digital zoom. I guess you'll get a better zoom because it's an analog zoom, but you have to literally rotate the camera lens with your hands to zoom in. What would you recommend as a 500-point army for a starting player? Any specific elite? You know, someone asked me the other day about this, and I guess your name is German, so there's no way I'm going to pronounce it right. Schwein, Kuma, and friends. Someone asked me about this other day. 500 points. A Redemptor Dreadnought, 180 points. 4 Blade Guard Veterans, 140 points. That puts you at 320. A squad of Assault Intercessors, 95 points. That puts you at 415. And a Judiciar for 85 points. 500 points. Yeah, I think that's a good fight. I think that's a good simple 500-point army list. You get 4 Blade Guard veterans, which can contest just about anything, to transhuman. You get a Redemptor Dreadnought. We know they're strong. They do a lot of damage. They survive. You get the Judiciar, make some enemy unit fight last. And then you get Assault Intercessors, because why not have some Assault Intercessors running in and hitting the enemy in melee and getting up in their face. Easy 500 points. Probably quite a cheap 500 points as well. Fran says, hey, I'm building a list that uses 2 Death Company Dreads. Are they enough to make me get a Primaris Tech Marine, or should I get Redemptor 2? I'm using a list that uses 2 Dreads, Fran, and I think that you want a Tech Marine if you have more than 2 pieces of armor. I think with 2 pieces of armor, I'm not sure you get enough value out of the Tech Marine. But the Death Company Dreads are different from regular Dreads, right? Because they're probably not shooting. And if they are shooting, are you taking heavy flamers? Why does the Sanguinary Guard in the background have his cup filled with lemonade? That's a very good point. I don't know why I filled the top of his cup with gold. That's a very good point. Good point. Thanks for pointing that out, Spiderwing. So, like, if you're going to run if you're going to run 2 Death Company Dreadnoughts at the enemy to just do damage, would a Tech Marine help? Maybe. But I mean, I think the strength of the Tech Marine is giving the vehicles that +1 to hit, right? So if you just want to run 2 Redemptors, if you just want to run 2 Death Company Dreadnoughts, run them at the enemy to hit them in the face, then I don't know what value you'd really see out of the Tech Marine. Yes, you'd be able to repair them a little bit, but I think the Tech Marine's going to work better if you've got like 3 Dreadnoughts that are a shooting battery / platform. But yeah, I mean, that's, again, it's just my opinion. Camille, did we think about something for long-term members? I have not, but that's a very good point, I suppose. I don't know if YouTube gives me much options. I'll need to look into that to see if there is something that changes for long-term members. I mean, like, you get your little badge based on the length of your membership, but like, if we could do something else, that might be quite cool. But yeah, I don't actually know how long I've had memberships on the channel. Maybe like 6 months? Maybe it was like December or something. Yeah, I think I saw somebody use like six membership for 6 months. When I bring 10-man Death Company unit, I know they're already dead. There are almost no situations where I don't lose Forlorn Fury, otherwise leave them out your list. Oh, the Judiciar isn't a HQ, so that wouldn't be legal? I never thought of that. So we need a character that's 85 points, huh? That would make that legal. Oh, you could definitely get a character that's 85 points that's legal. I guess it wouldn't be quite as strong as the Judiciar, which is annoying, but there's definitely like a Primaris Lieutenant or something we could run for 85 points. Yeah, I don't play 500 point battles very often, so I just completely overlooked that. I was just thinking of 4 strong choices that would synergize nicely at 500 points, I guess. I used a Death Company Dread quite recently. I was disappointed how it performed. How did you have it armed? And why were you disappointed? Like, what was the problem with it? We need to tell my list in multiple parts. 2 Pulsars, 10 Primaris Intercessors and Hellblasters, 6 Blade Guard Veterans. Yeah, please leave any comments that you guys have on the Death Guard video, because basically it's hard. I only play against 1 or 2 opponents that have Death Guard. Most recently, it's just been 1, because of all the COVID nonsense, and it's not been easy to get to play many people. So yeah, I was trying to use what I knew against Death Guard, but I don't own the Death Guard Codex. It's just from what I've seen. That's why I kind of put that disclaimer at the start to say, like, this certainly isn't every Death Guard option, but like it's a good number of them. Or it's a good number of them that I've seen that I think are strong against Blood Angels. I think Death Guard are a great army at the moment, honestly. Alright, I'm gonna do this. I was gonna say, am I gonna make both their Aquillas match? I probably should. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna. Blade Belcher. 10 Death Company with jump kits, a Redemptor and a second Redemptor as Death Company, and Indomitus Blade Guard Captain as my Warlord, and 2 Apothecaries. So what's your question on all this, Tristan? My friend's got a whole Death Guard force minus Mortarion and the Blight Lord Terminators. Blight Lords are still pretty good as well. I don't know if I covered them in my video. I don't rate their shooting abilities. There's a lot of CP you can spend on Death Guard shooting, but I honestly don't think it makes it that powerful. I think they're much, much scarier in melee combat. And then I guess the same thing goes where, like, if they need to be in melee and their unit only moves 5 inches, then we try and use our speed against them. And, like, we'll charge them on our terms and stuff, you know? I mean, I guess they can deep strike in and they can potentially make a charge, but, yeah, it's an interesting concept, I guess. Is there any changes I should make? What? Yeah, I mean, what you're probably best doing, Tristan, is submitting your list. You know, we do an army list show every week, right? Every Sunday at 4 PM UK time, we spend like we spend 2 hours going over 4 lists submitted by the community every week. It's usually 2,000 point lists, and we break them down and we talk about how they could be made better, what their synergies are and stuff like that. And like, personally, I'm not a big fan of transports. I think there are a lot of points, and I think if you're going to take a transport, you limit it to 1. I think Blood Angels obviously can get jetpacks, which are basically like transports but better for us. So like, that's the first thing I noticed as well. Also, you've got a bunch of Hellblasters in there. If you're going to take Hellblasters, I feel like you need some sort of very reliable way to let them reroll, like a captain. Otherwise, you're potentially killing your own models if you need to shoot on high power. Hey Fran, man, welcome to. Thank you for becoming a battle brother. I appreciate it. It's always nice to get some new members up in this house. So, thanks for being here. Please let me know if you have any questions, and also if you can. There's a Discord, there's a link to Discord in the video description. If you join our Discord and then link your YouTube account to your Discord, so you go into like settings in Discord and you like click link my YouTube account, you then get access to our members only room. So basically Patreons and YouTube members get access to a different Discord channel. You know, we still chat in other channels, but it's a good, like, I guess I spend most of my time in the members only channel, right? So yeah, please make sure you do that, and you can come and join us over in the members only. Hey, I have a question. Can I see your company veterans when you get a chance? This is company veterans that I'm literally painting right now, Benjamin. One with a chainsword and a storm shield, and one with a lightning claw and a storm shield. I mean, I don't have any finished company veterans, so these will be my first 2 finished company veterans. Blade Guard Captain lets you reroll ones. I didn't see that you said you had a captain. John, are you going to be picking up anything from Warhammer Imperium? So Imperium... what do I need to say about Imperium? Imperium is the new magazine that's coming out, right? Which has like... Well, I mean, it's got a lot of Space Marine stuff in it. I actually don't know what the other factions are in Imperium, or the base other faction. Last time round it was Death Guard, right? I have such a big backlog of Blood Angel stuff. I was trying to work my way through it before I buy too many more things. I will buy the odd thing here and there, like I just did pick up that Primaris Tech Marine recently. But like I really wanted to get to a point where like I had a lot more of my backlog finished before I started buying more models. Because yeah, I mean I made a pile of shame video like last year, and there's like huge chunks of that I haven't even touched. Like I have I want to say I've got 30 Terminators. Like 10 with guns, 7 with maybe it's not quite 30, maybe 25. So I have like 25 Terminators, and like none of them are finished. Do you know what? It's more. No, it's more. It's more because I've got Rogue Trader Terminators. So I have I've got 5 Rogue Trader Terminators. I've got like 8 more with Thunderhammers. I've got like 7 more with Lightning Claws. I've got 2 Terminator Ancients. So that's like 26 Terminators, and then I know that I've got 3 squads of Terminators with Stormbolters. So I have 41 Terminators. I don't have any of those Terminators finished. So like, yeah, I'm finding it. Excuse me. I'm not finding it hard. I would like to finish a bunch of the stuff that I have before I go ahead and like keep adding to it. I also have just finished 3 Inceptors today, but I have 3 more plasma ones that I did these like pretty cool conversions on with Sanguinary Guard wings. I really wanted to finish them as well, and I also had 6 Inceptors halfway done. I had 6 Eradicators halfway done. I had 6 Outriders halfway done. So like, you know, that's another bunch of points, and they're all halfway done. I started all of them. You know, most of them have 3 colors on them, so you could actually use them in a game. But like, they all need a good amount of work to get finished. But if you're new to the hobby, or if you want to add a lot to multiple armies, then don't get me wrong, those magazines are great value. And the reason I know they're great value is, see, last time round those magazines were and thanks for hanging out, Reziel. The attack bikes, you know, the attack bike with multi-melta, if you buy that on Games Workshop website, Joe, I'll just check because I can pull it up, right? Let me have a quick look. Attack bikes, right? An attack bike, oh, it's $34. This isn't UK. Let me change it to UK because I know what it is. $20 in the UK for an attack bike. You can just see it under my picture here in my face, right? It costs you $20. You got attack bikes with that magazine with 1 issue, right? So $8.99. So you're literally able to get attack bikes at less than half the price if you buy the magazine. Because there's another channel that I know and I've done a couple of videos with, and it's Evan from Origin Painting. We've done a couple of videos together, and he does mainly painting videos, and he painted something to give away on my channel for like when I got 4,000 subscribers. He helped me do a giveaway. So Evan's a really sound guy, but he lives in Germany because he's in the army or something, and or the Air Force, one of the two. I actually don't know. But he said, like, hey, do you mind if I order a bunch of these Imperium magazines to your house and then you can send them on to me because I can't get them in Germany? And I was like, yeah, man, that's fine, you know, like, you painted this model for me to give away. I kind of owe you one, so, yeah, so, I mean, like, if you are going to get involved in the Imperium stuff, it's pretty cheap, or you can get some really good deals, I guess. Like, I guess some weeks you might not get a good deal, but yeah, some weeks on that magazine you're going to get really good deals. You can get attack bikes halfway, and then you can back order some of these as well. So if you don't necessarily want all the issues, you can keep an eye on the website and maybe do, like, is it back order that they call it, or I don't know what they call it when you order an older version. Back issues, I think it is, right? Where you order the back issues. You can definitely do that. Good evening, Highland Phoenix. How are you doing? Hope you're well, man. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a good Saturday. I've had a kind of okay day. And I've got some feedback going. Maybe it's the song. It sounds like there's some feedback in the song. Let me spin it forward. Yeah, having an okay day. It's a nice day here. Actually, really nice weather here. Try and enjoy some of the nice weather before we get right back into winter here in Scotland. And yeah, I said at the start of the stream, I got 3 models to paint for a tournament that I've got 2 weeks today. So hopefully we can finish up a couple of them in the next couple of days, and then that just leaves me 1 model to paint in a week, which is pretty nice, you know. I hear a lot of people scrambling to paint models like the night before tournaments and stuff. So I was trying to be in a situation where I didn't have to do that, and I think I'm gonna make it. I think I'm gonna make it. But normally there's a couple of nights a week I normally take off. I normally don't do any painting on a Friday night because, like, it'll have been like a long week at work, and I try and just chill out on Friday night. The last few weeks I have been painting like a trooper on Friday nights, and also sometimes trying to take Sunday nights off working. And yeah, I've been painting on Sunday nights as well, so I've been doing a bit more, but I guess it's put me in this good situation where, like, I don't have a crazy rush to paint, like, 500 points in an evening or something, which I think often happens when people are going to tournaments, right? If COVID hadn't came along and we hadn't had a year where I could do nothing, I bet you I would be in that situation where I was trying to paint everything. I've been painting says I'm like a madman, says Evan. Why, you got a tournament coming up, Evan, or what's happening with you? Have you tried out that Battle Sector game? Do you know what? I have. The developer for Battle Sector gave me a copy of the game, and they gave me one to give away. I am feeling guilty right now because you asked me about it. I have not made a video, and I haven't given away the copy of the game yet. It's been on my to-do list to do, but yeah, I mean, obviously I've been doing those tier list videos with Mark and Tony, and we've just wrapped that series, and I have another video thing that I really want to do that's nothing, I guess my channel is based around tactics rather than like video games, right? So at some point in the next little while, I will do the Battle Sector video, and I guess, spoiler, if you watch the video, I'm probably going to mention how you can win a free copy of it, because they gave me a free copy to give away. I just... I don't want to say anything negative about the developer, because it was very kind of them to do that for me, right? Like, that was super awesome of them, and I really do appreciate it. But and this is probably all on me, dude. I have a, you know, like, I have a very busy 9-to-5 job. I very rarely work 9 to 5. I work like 8 till 6 most days or something. You know, like, I usually have to work over, because we just have a lot going on the day job. And then when I get home, you know, I've got a baby, so I you know, that's a lot of work as well. And then YouTube channel, trying to make sure that we get the content out every week. So, like, when, like, they needed to give me that code like a month in advance, because I have everything meticulously planned and I'm super busy, so I just didn't have enough time. But I played the beta of Battle Sector, because they gave me a code in the beta and I enjoyed it, and I do want to play it. Like I said, I've been painting Friday and Sunday nights, usually the nights I take off. The nights I take off, I've been painting, so that I didn't have this mad rush for this tournament. So in a post-tournament world, which I guess is in a few weeks' time, one Friday or one Sunday night, we'll either stream or we'll play Battle Sector, and we'll give away the code. And yeah, I would have liked to have done it. I'd have liked to do it sooner. I just couldn't. It's going to be like my first tournament. Like, I think I did a tournament in October 18. I didn't do any tournaments in 2019 because that's when my daughter was born. So, and then COVID hit, like, obviously early 2020. So I haven't done a tournament in like 3 years. So I didn't want to not be fully painted, etc. for this tournament, if that makes sense. There's also the sprue with Indomitus character plus the Blade Guard and Eradicator in there. Yeah, I mean, you do get, there were some amazing sprues in that last magazine, right? In terms of like good value for the money you pay for each issue. Robert, this is all the marine stuff you're getting with Imperium. 3 Outriders, an Invader ATV, the Fire Strike turret, 3 Aggressors, a Primaris Librarian, in Phobos armor, start collecting Vanguard Space Marines. I like that start collecting Vanguard box, actually. 3 Eliminators, 3 Suppressors, Assault Intercessors, Primaris, Lieutenant Malgus Kalgar, and an Honor Guard, and Guilliman. Wow, okay. There's an exclusive Guilliman model. Came back to Blood Angels after I picked up Necron 8th, and about 6 months before 9th. Yeah, I've been back into Blood Angels since the beginning of 8th. I was into them much earlier, like 2nd and 4th edition, but I was out of the hobby for a little while. Okay. I'm gonna grab some Reichland Flesh Shade in a second and do this gold. Yeah, I heard that they were going to do a bunch of DLC / improvements for Battle Sector. Like it's been one of the best received 40k games, or yeah, is that right? One of the best received turn-based games. I did have a look at the reviews, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed what I played. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get to playing it. It'll probably be after this tournament, so middle of next month we'll try and we'll get some Battle Sector content out, and hopefully that'll I'll get 3 Invader ATVs when they come around in Imperium. Other factions getting stuff in Imperium. I was going to use the £10 voucher that you get from subscribing to Warhammer Plus to buy an Invader ATV. Now, I know that's going to be controversial, and I'm actually surprised you're saying that you're getting some Invader ATVs, Mark, because I thought you hated them after we did a tier list video on them. I thought you just didn't like the Invader ATVs, but I kind of like Invader ATVs. I mean, I'm not sure I like how they look, but I like the rules for them. I think for their points and the number of wounds that they get, I think they're decent. Hey everyone, anyone heard of how long it will actually take Octarius to get here if you got it on pre-order? I did a pre-order of Indomitus last time, and last time they said it was 120 days, so basically like 4 months, and it was actually longer, because I was actually at the point where like I was almost ready to complain, because they'd said like, you know, we guarantee it within 120 days. I think mine took about 130 days. I do live at the very, very northern tip of Scotland, so like deliveries and stuff do typically take longer up here. But yeah, I was right. I was very close to being going to complain about how long Indomitus took. So I guess if Octarius was like as heavily pre-ordered as Indomitus, I guess you could. And I'm guessing if they didn't tell you the number of days, Brent, it's because some people probably did complain when Indomitus was late. So they probably didn't say the number of days just so that people wouldn't complain if they're struggling to meet all the demand, I guess. The Death Corp of Krieg are cool though. I mean, they'd be worth waiting for, right? And hey, it'll give you a little bit of time, you know, clear out all the painting that you need to do and be ready for the box coming, I guess is my advice. ATVs are cooler if you paint them in Battle Mario Kart style. Sisters are getting 10 Battle Sisters, a Canoness, a Pennant Engine, 5 Surf, and a Repentia Squad, and a unit of Arco Flagellants. Yeah, I mean, if you want to collect a lot of different armies and you're new to the hobby, you will save money doing that magazine, right? But I guess although you might save money, you're going to end up with a bunch of armies. So I guess the question is, you know, like I basically had to trade away all my second armies because I was like, if I don't trade away what I have here, I'm never finishing my Blood Angels. And at some point, I would actually really like to finish them. What were your choices for a Blood Angels Combat Patrol box? My choices wouldn't work because I still use a lot of Firstborn, and I don't think that all the Combat Patrol boxes are mainly Primaris now, right? 1 red, green, and yellow for Mario, Luigi, and Wario ATV cards. I don't know if I go that far with the with Invader ATVs. I think I would like 1 or 2 of them, but I would definitely just paint the Blood Angels colors. Veteran Terminators look pretty badass. Who gets Veteran Terminators? Yeah, I was going to say the Redemptor Dreadnought probably would be a good call. I feel like Sanguinary Guard and Vanguard Veterans and possibly Blade Guard Veterans are all really, really strong in Blood Angels right now. I run them in every game, Vanguard Veterans, Sanguinary Guard, and Blade Guard Veterans, so if I had to design a Combat Patrol box, I'd probably put those in it. I did say last time on the GW forum, when the Combat Patrol boxes were released, that if they wanted help designing them, I would help them, because it's not great when all the Blood Angels players are buying the Dark Angels Combat Patrol box, is it? I want to paint a squad of Space Marines to look like the Bad Batch crew. They could be look good with my Blood Angels. I'd be surprised if the Bad Batch Marines don't come to that Star Wars Legion game, because I don't know if you've seen Star Wars Legion, but they definitely have the Clone Wars army, or they have I think the faction would be Galactic Republic, right? They have the Galactic Republic in that game. Yeah, do you know what? That would actually be very cool if you made it into like a kill team. Updated Blood Angels Combat Patrol should have Primaris Sangre Guard. Yeah, I think we're all waiting for Primaris Sangre Guard. We really need some cheaper Blade Guard. The actual kit is too expensive for the points. You mean like the box of models is too expensive for the fact that they only cost 100 points? If you want to try and get some cheap, Fran, that new magazine might be a good way to do it. You know, some people ordering up that first edition to get the Primaris Lieutenant, which is for like $2.99, and then you can convert him into a Blade Guard very, very cheaply. So you could get a squad of 3 Blade Guard for less than $10. I already converted one of those from the Indomitus box to Blade Guard, so it's really not hard to do either. I find it silly they didn't make the Christmas Blood Angels box again. I loved it. Yeah, I missed that the year that they did that Christmas box. It was only 1 year, wasn't it? They called it a Battle Force or something, right? Oh, James is already on it, Fran, telling you how you can get some cheap Blade Guards. What are your thoughts on adding Icon Angel to your list on the Priest or Librarian? Do you know what, Highland? I read some of your comments on that last week. I'm in a tough place with my list, right? Because I use the Patrol and Vanguard, so like I do not have any CP. Like I'm starting with 6, and I'm highly likely, I think, in a lot of games going to reserve the multi-melta attack bikes, and I'm also going to reserve the company veterans. So that's going to cost me another CP. So I'm starting with 5 CP in most games. So that's where my issue is, right? Like I could take another relic, and I could take what's it you recommend? Icon of the Angel to reroll some charges. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to a certain degree, I guess, but like, am I going to be comfortable starting with a game with 4 CP? I mean, I'm already not comfortable starting with 5, right? So yeah, I'm not sure. I get where you're coming from. Like, we want to have some more reliability in our charges, but like I don't know how we do that without compromising on our starting CP, I guess. And you know, I ran a lot of games with like really low CP counts, and I actually think starting with 5 is kind of rough. I think it's like the absolute lowest I would recommend anyone start the game with is 5 CP. So like, yeah, I did win some games when I started with 4, but I just didn't like it. I just felt like, consider my list needs CP for suppression fire, right? Like if you're going to suppress something for like 2 or 3 turns, and you're only starting with 4 CP, you know, like you basically. If you're going to suppress something for 2 or 3 CPs, you did burn about 2 or 3 CP re-rolling charges last game. Yeah, I mean, Okay, good point, well made. I guess the problem with the difference is that you need to have that character in the precise location, right? A very precise location. I don't know, we could try it. I'm so close to this tournament, so it's gonna be near impossible to trial it and decide before this tournament, you know that? I'm gonna try and order 5 of. Yeah, do you know what? If you did buy a bunch of those first issues as well, you could always sell the Necrons if you just wanted to make some cheap blade guard, right? I don't know. I will try and keep a better mental note of how many CP charges we use in the next couple of games, and also maybe I'll try and keep a mental note of like where my characters are that would potentially, because I could hold that relic on any of my 3, right? I could hold it on the chaplain on a bike, I could hold it on the priest, or I could hold it on the librarian. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll try and keep a note, like a mental note of where those characters are in the games and if I would have got value out of them, I guess. Yeah, it's a really tough one. I wish that they would make Dante give more than 1 CP for his warlord trait. I think if he gave 2... I honestly think if he gave 2 CP, I would probably take him. Because I think 2 CP on the Patrol and Vanguard would actually add quite a lot of value. How do I buy that magazine if I'm in the States? I'm not sure it's been released in the States yet, but I'm like 90% sure it is being released. Because they said like it's coming to Europe first and then it's coming to the States after, but if you go to, if you search Warhammer Imperium magazine, I think you'll come to the website and it'll give you the details. And I think in America you can pre-order your pre-register your interest rather. And yeah, I mean, like a lot of people got good value out of the magazine the first time round. And I suppose if you're collecting more than 1 army, you definitely get some good value out of it as well. And yeah, the back issues is also kind of exciting in that like you can pick up some real bargains if you look at the back issues, if they have any left in stock, because they do, I believe some of the back issues do sell out pretty quickly. But if they don't sell out, you can maybe pick up like, well, I think Evan picked up 3 attack bikes for basically the cost of 1 of them almost. Dante needs a new sculpt. Yeah, I think we all agree. I think the thing that we would like to see is, are you going to practice with chest clocks before your tournament? I don't think the tournament's got chest clocks. I think that I think we'll have to play faster. But yeah, I mean, we could probably do a game or 2 with the chest clocks. It's probably not a bad idea. I need to go read, now that you mention it, I need to read the rules and find out what happens if the games run over in the tournament. I imagine that you just step through them and work out what would happen in the final turns. I hate painting the underside of storm shields, it's so finicky. I suppose it depends on the angle you glued them, but this one is a nightmare. Alright, we're getting there with these two. Getting there. At least you got free heroic deed with Dante. I think the heroic deed is kind of meh with Dante, honestly. Like, I think it should just be any free stratagem. Like, the heroic deed is basically like he fights on death or he sacrifices himself, right? Like, those are two things that, like, don't feel that epic, right? Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, I'm enjoying doing these company veterans. Hopefully they'll do quite well for me on the battlefield. It's hard to say. They've been useful so far to just be a little sneaky unit to perform Octarius data and then hold an objective once they're done doing it. So I think they'll yeah, I mean, I think Dante just needs a little bit of love on all his rules. Alright, I need some Reichland Flesh Shade to wash some of this gold on these guys now, I think. Gotta eat dinner. Good night. Thanks for hanging out, Evan. Nice to have your company. Thank you. Make Dante Primaris, give him the Spear of Telesto, and make him a terrifying fast monster killer. Simple. Yeah, I mean, that would be very nice, right? I think that's probably what needs to happen when Dante is quote unquote reborn. But I mean, in the last book, spoiler ahead, Dante wanted to go through the Rubicon, right? And the chapter didn't let him. So I think it's probably only a matter of time before Dante takes the Rubicon. And we will, you know, when he takes the Rubicon, I guess we will get a new Primaris Dante. I guess the question is, what will his rules be? Will they be as broken as some of these, or maybe broken is the wrong word. Maybe will he be as powerful as some of these other characters that are getting released as of late, or will he just be same as Mephiston, like +1 attack, +1 wound? I think. I really hope it's not the same as Mephiston. So yeah, this is what I was talking about with the Reichland Flesh Shade. I just wash all over the gold, like pretty indiscriminately. Like I'm not particularly trying to get into any recesses or anything. I'm just trying to wash over the gold and not leave any tide marks if possible. I'll do everything that I've done in gold, all these little skulls and everything. Dante deserves to be broken for a while. Yeah, it would be really... I actually want him to come with a whole squad of Sanguinary Guard. None of that nonsense that just 2 models. Like, come with a whole 5-man bodyguard squad or something, Highland. I don't care. Like, I don't think the... you know, like if he was $60 though, but like he was amazing, you know, and he had like a brand new model and he was exciting and he was large, and I mean, like maybe even could he have some cool wings? Because like obviously Dante's so old that he comes from a period of time like before the Sanguinary Guard, when like our characters obviously like he doesn't even have wings. Which now that I mention it seems a bit weird actually, like you would really expect Dante to have wings. But like I said, he just from that period of before when there was no wings. So like could he have wings, and could he just come with like a 5-man squad? Our pool boy Mephiston is heavily outclassed by a dead marine and a robot, so primarizing does not always work. That is true. I really, you know, I obviously run a jump library in my list, and I really wish that I could, and he's chief librarian, the one I run in my list. And I really wish it could have been Mephiston, but like, just the generic one with the Space Marine powers is stronger than Mephiston. And I know that they're slightly different role, but like we were talking about this the other night, like Mephiston would have been perfect for Null Zone, right? Because Mephiston does not have an invulnerable save. So he would have literally been the best character we could have had Null Zone on. Because he's got that 2+ save and the 5+ shrug. So Mephiston would have been amazing if he could have had Null Zone. But yeah, he just obviously can't. So that's... It's sad, and yeah, you're right. It's also a little worrying that they can Primaris a character and it can still, you can still be obscure, you can still fade into obscurity, I guess, and like no one. Well, it's not that we don't care that he got Primaris. Of course we care, but it's just his rules weren't good enough, I guess, right? When Templars come out, they're going to be broken. It causes talk and interest, which burns money being spent on models. After a while, they get FAQ'd. It's a business strategy. They do same thing in video games. Release a new weapon, team, class, broken, generate interest and money, nerf it later. You should have a Primaris jump pack. Yeah, I mean, you should have a Primaris jump pack, but can he not have wings as well? Because the Sanguinary Guard have jump pack and wings, right? I hate... the current strategy of release them broken and fix it later. I really do. I don't think it's good for the game. I guess like the only thing I think it does is like it gives each faction like a few, like it's 5 minutes of fame in the limelight. But like I generally just don't think it's good for the game or the meta or whatever, because it just means that you get everybody jumping on one faction for 5 minutes and then everything changes and then everybody wants to jump onto the next faction. Like I prefer sticking with one faction like I do and trying to do your best with the one faction. And almost be like kind of what I've done, like become an advocate for that, or advocate might be the wrong word here, like an evangelist for the faction, you know. So it's like I would say that like I'm an evangelist for the Blood Angels. Like if someone comes into chat right now and says like, hey, should I start collecting Blood Angels, I would say yes, because we're awesome. Like I wouldn't say no because our rules aren't the greatest right now and we're not meta and blah blah blah. I would say like, yeah, collect Blood Angels, we're awesome, you know, we're a cool chapter that gets to do cool things. Yes, right now we're not the strongest, but like it all goes around. I would prefer if they made more effort to try and keep it balanced, codex on codex, patch on patch, right? Like I just think that would be healthier than the sort of like lurchiness. I don't know what word you say, or I guess the flavor of the month, I guess is what it is, right? And like every year, like I see reports on news channels about how well Games Workshop are doing in terms of revenue and new people in the hobby and stuff like that. It's like I don't think they need to make it that everything's broken when it's released. Like, the hobby seems pretty strong. You know, the Warhammer Plus is out now. Most people, once they get into this hobby, like they you know, you don't just up and leave, right? It's not like a video game. You know, it's not like a video game where you get bored after 6 months or something, right? There's like, you know, you've obviously got the painting side, you've got the rules side, you've got the playing side, you've got the collection side. Like, there's a lot. If you get bored of one thing, let's say you're bored of painting, well, you just play games for 6 months. If you're bored of playing games, then, you know, go paint for 6 months. If you're new, you can do the collecting or whatnot. You know, they talk about the pillars of the hobby, I guess. I don't know. I really wish they would make more effort just to balance the new books, so that it feels fairer, as opposed to every time new models come out at the moment, like, you're just waiting to hear something stupid that they can do, right? Like, it's not fun to be like, oh, the 1,000 Suns are going to be able to use 19 different psychers on you in a single turn, and they're going to decimate half your forces, and there's literally nothing you can do. It's like, okay then? You know, like tell me where the fun is. Yeah, like I said, maybe it's fun for those 1,000 Sun players for 5 minutes, but is it fun for them, right? Because, like, once they've realized, like, oh wow, we're super powerful and we just kill everybody if we take this list, they spend time working on that list, and then it gets changed, and then maybe they're disappointed or whatever. Yeah, it's questionable, I guess. I don't know. I don't like it. We're going to try and interview Jack for the 3rd place GT. I spoke to him briefly. I messaged him and asked him if it was okay if I went over his list. He said yes. I think I kind of hinted that I wanted to interview him, but like, maybe I needed to be more direct. So I guess the answer is maybe Highland. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure who is loving the way that they release the new stuff, I guess. But I mean, yeah, it's, you know, there's been a lot of talk actually about the new edition. One of the comments that I saw on my Twitter the other day was like, why is there no digital versions of the codexes anymore? Do GW hate trees? And I was like, yeah, it's a good point, right? Like, personally, I think I preferred having the digital version of the books, so you could just grab your iPad or something and have the books anywhere, as opposed to having to carry around multiple giant books. And I mean, that was another one of their 9th edition changes, which is a bit, you know, like, we've got the app now for rules and stuff, and the app's not bad. And I guess if you subscribe to Warhammer Plus now, you get the app included, so you can see a lot of rules. But yeah, I don't know, I liked it when you used to do the digital versions of the codexes as well. What did you talk about then? I mean, like, I think we just talked super briefly about, like, if I could go over the list, and he said that, like, terrain was, like, he'd done a lot of studying on the terrain to make that list work. But I think I think that list still gets hard countered by some armies, right? Like, I don't know if that list can fight death. Like, if the Death Guard player has a couple of foul blight spawns and he's got that relic, like, I don't think that list works at all. Like, I think it's just hard countered. And I guess that's one of the reasons that I don't like all jumpy lists anymore. Like, if your list can be hard countered by like a single relic or a single unit in any list, right? Then like I just don't want to run that list. Like, I don't want to run any list that could be hard countered by one thing that, like, if you go to a tournament, there's a very good chance you play up against it. Now, I don't know why. Like, I don't know if he just managed to dodge all the Death Guard players. Like, I know he didn't play Death Guard, yeah, so sure. I guess he did dodge Death Guard players anyway. But, like, did he... Like, if he was going to run into that Death Guard shenanigans where, like, you don't count as charging and you fight last, because I saw Stephen Box, who's arguably, like, one of the best Blood Angels players in the world, play against that Death Guard list and get absolutely humped. Right, like, there was like nothing Stephen could do. Like, Stephen was just sat there like, I've never seen him look so defeated on a stream before. Because it was just like, yeah, I just can't fight that. I just lose. What am I supposed to do? You know, and he lost the game, let's say like 70 points to 30 or something. Like, it was ludicrous, and it was just like, yeah, this Death Guard list. This one model in this list completely hard counters like the entire Blood Angels army. So, like, for me, I'm just not gonna ever run a list that has a weakness like that. Wasn't it just a standard old jump pack BA list, run with Sea Sangry Guard, a solid Vanguard, and decent? Yeah. It was exactly that. There was nothing. 3 Sangry Guard, a Vanguard veteran, 10 man with Lightning Claws to be combat as squadded, a Death Company, 5 man with all Thunder Hammers, which is crazy to me. If I run 5 Death Company with all Thunder Hammers, they would be shot off the board before they got close to anything. And actually, I don't even know if they do that much damage, because I mean, your Thunder Hammers only hit on 4s. I don't think his list had Quake Bolts. And yeah, it was running Wrath, and I guess he was using the new terrain to his advantage pretty successfully. I think that's the main takeaway, is that the new terrain, if you use the army right, you can get a lot of value out of that new GW terrain. I'm thinking of getting a couple of Contemptors. Thoughts on Chain Fist and Volkites, these 2 Volkites. I mean, the 2... So I did a video on the Steel Rain where we looked at the double Volkites versus 1 Volkite in the Chain Fist, I believe, and I mathed it out. And I think on the double Volkites, we included the Cyclone missile launchers, I think. I can probably just send you the slide if you want. Give me 2 seconds to paint this guy's belt and we'll get the slide up. Let me find this slide. Is the fact that an army has a unit that can just turn off a unique ability of an other army, not just bad game design though, rather than something a player needs to build around. I was going to say yes and no, Dex. There are so many things that counter Red Thirst now, you know, like unmodified wounds of 4+. So yeah, I think that, like, maybe one way to make Blood Angels better or more competitive would be to rework or rename that Red Thirst rule so it, like, overrides some of those, like, de facto transhumans. Hey Sellers, how you doing? shit on a shingle. Where is it? I've got the slide up, Steel Ring. Just give me 1 second. Here, I think. So, a Relic Contemptor with 2 Volkites is going to average 7.33 damage plus 2.66 mortal wounds against toughness 4 infantry. You know, a Redemptor is going to be not far behind with 9.4. I guess there's going to be no save against those mortal wounds likely. Against toughness 5 infantry, it's going to do more as well. Again, the mortal wounds are going to be the sticking point. I mean, the close combat weapon does a lot of damage though, so I guess that's your question, right? Like, how much you're getting? Well, if you just compare the two, you're getting. Again, let's use toughness 5 infantry. You're getting 3.16 plus 1.33. That's basically 4.5. So you're getting like 2.6 more damage, but you're giving up 7 damage in close combat. And that's including the Cyclone Missile Launcher. That's in there as well, I think. I think I'm probably just shooting crack grenades for this analysis. Maybe Transhuman itself should just give you a -1 to wound. Well, I don't have a problem with Transhuman, but I think if you're going to base an army's unique ability on the fact that you get +1 to wound, then there shouldn't be like, you know, try and think of another army that you can remove their unique ability from. If you can't, you know, like there's no way to remove Death Guard's -1 damage, for example, right? Like, so if you can't in any way, shape or form remove Death Guard's main component of their army, which is all their units take -1 damage, then argument says there should be no way to remove the Blood Angels. We get +1 to wound rolls, I guess. But I'm totally biased, right? Like, I'm literally only a Blood Angels player, so I'm always going to say things that are biased towards Blood Angels. So, yeah, it's probably quite hard for me to be objective on that. I'm going to put those veterans to the side. I think tomorrow I'm going to do an Agrax reset wash on them. They're in pretty good nick, or pretty good shape, I guess. Hey End, welcome back. Chicken barbecue, don't make me hungry, man. I had ramen for dinner tonight. Yeah, I can literally send you the link to that Google Doc. It's a bit of an older Google Doc. I put it in the chat. It's a bit of an older one, but I mean, usually when I'm working those things out, I usually try and work them out pretty accurately, right? I think so, James. Like, I've thought for a while we would get some refresh on some of our chapters. It's actually kind of mad to me that we've had no Primaris jump units really yet. And maybe, you know, maybe when Primaris jump units really become a thing, then we'll go back into our limelight. I guess the question will be, will we be overpowered for a while to sell Blood Angels models? But yeah, I don't like this. I don't like it how everything new needs to be super overpowered, right? I wish that they would just make more of an effort to release balanced content rather than the, you know, the lurch I don't know what you call it, the way that it lurches from army to army at the moment. Feel No Pain and Death Company will end up being more powerful than Sanguinary Guard. I think if they want to make that, if it was up to me, I would have made that Feel No Pain on the Death Company 5+ by default and made the stratagem make it a 4+. Because I think it's too, I think Refusal to Die, especially if you use it on a big unit, I think it's too expensive, just for it doesn't make you that much more survivable. Like, you still lose models left, right, and center with a 5+ Feel No Pain. And Death Company save isn't that good. Like, it's just a 3-up save. It's pretty standard, or it's nothing special, I guess. Well, I'm glad that I'm not upsetting your family. The end. Thanks for hanging out, man. But yeah, I'm pretty tired actually tonight. I was up pretty early today. I don't know if I've been sleeping that well this week. So yeah, I'm probably going to call it in like 10 minutes. My eyesight when I've been doing this late at night starts getting a bit, like, my eyes feel a bit gritty. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it in like 10 minutes time or so. Just try and tidy up the last few bits on these guys. But yeah, I shouldn't be in any mad rush to get ready for this tournament, which will be nice. I think a recess wash on these guys, and honestly, I'm not going to take them too much further. Recess wash and transfers. Recess wash probably take like half an hour, 45 minutes per model. Transfers take me literally no time at all because I use solid micro set. We talked about them on stream before, how easy they make transfers. So yeah, I think these two guys will be finished tomorrow, hopefully, and then that gives me what, like 10, 12, 13 days to paint the Sanguinary Priest. That should be fine. I might stream on Thursday this week actually. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe this week we'll stream on Thursday night as well, and we'll just paint the Sanguinary Priest. Or, well, I mean, he's already started, right? But we'll put a lot more colors onto him, I guess. Like, a lot more colors. Yeah. The real problem is that the state of the game, the 3+ isn't good anymore. You know, that's very true. 2+ isn't even good anymore. Like, Sanguinary Guard die so bloody quick. That was one of the things that I thought. That was one of the things I thought they were most out of touch with the chapter approved book when they put the cost of Sanguinary Guard up. And I guess Sanguinary Guard are a funny one, right? Because, like, I guess if you just decide to do nothing else in your Blood Angels army list and run 3 10-man squads of Sanguinary Guard and put 900 points into Sanguinary Guard and just jump forward across the table with, like, Wrath of Baal and try and make a ton of charges, yes, you will kill a lot of stuff. You'll die fairly quickly as well, but for the normal player, or the player like me that just runs one squad of Sanguinary Guard, I think that actually hurt us more than it hurt those guys that were just running the giant squads of them. But yeah, I'd actually expected in that chapter approved that Sanguinary Guard would have gone down in points. Maybe to like 28 per model. Instead they went up to 32, which was... Yeah, I got a tournament coming up in like... what, 12 days time or something, so I'll let you know how I get on. I will definitely... We'll see if we can be the highest placing Blood Angels player. I guess that'll be my goal. Like, I'm never gonna win the tournament, I wouldn't have thought, but I will try and be the highest placing Blood Angels player, and I'll probably be I imagine I'm going to be the only Blood Angels player that takes a balanced list like mine. I imagine if there is other Blood Angels players, it'll be all jump pack assault stuff. I've never actually played a game against another, like, since I started advocating this balanced list, I haven't played another Blood Angels player using a jump pack assault army. That'll be interesting. I mean, like, I feel like I know enough of the tricks that I will win the game, but it will be an interesting game nonetheless, I guess. Alright. Score and deny. Yeah, that's right, Highland Phoenix. That's what we've done that really well these last 2 weeks. I was really pleased to beat Andrew's Sisters list, like really, really pleased, because I think Sisters are much, like, on paper, like, I think Sisters are in a way better place than Blood Angels. So every victory over the Sisters at the moment makes me feel warm and happy inside, I shit you not. My last tournament, I was only Blood Angels player there. The other Space Marine players was there with my buddy with the Raven Guard successor chapter, the Raptors. Yeah, I have no idea how many Blood Angels players are going to be at this next tournament that I've got. I will let you know, and I'll definitely make some videos, possibly about Blood Angels players, but also about armies and stuff that we face and how we grind out some of these wins, I guess. Alright, I'm calling it, guys. I am tired. I hope you enjoyed the stream. 4 triple plus is OP, 5 triple plus is okay. Problem was spreading Feel No Pain too much. Feel No Pain should compensate the lack of transhuman. Yeah, I don't know what they need to do then. I mean, yeah, I mean, if Primara's Death Company had jump packs, right, and you could transhuman them, then sure, I'm fine with not. I'm fine with just having a 5+ Feel No Pain. I think that would still be super good. But the problem with the Primara's Death Company is at the moment you can't get them anywhere because they've got no jump packs. And like I said, transports. You would need an impulsor. The impulsor only takes 6 models. It's kind of expensive, and yeah, I just think it's kind of expensive for what you get from it. Like, I'd rather just still take firstborn jump pack units. So we need an update where we get some Primaris jump units. I guess that's what we've all been waiting for. And I guess going back to the question, do I think that new Black Templar releases will pave the way to more Blood Angels units? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they're going to bring us more units. It's just going to be a matter of time, I guess. Alright guys, we are going to be back tomorrow, as I'm sure some of you know, 4:30 UK time, to talk about, no, not 4:30 UK time, sorry, 4 o'clock UK time, so precisely 12 plus 4, 16 hours from now we'll be back. Would Death Company Intercessors be better if you could bring a 20-man unit? I think the big problem with the Death Company Intercessors is just the no jump packs, right? Like, more units would just, more models would just make them susceptible to blast. I think 10 of them is actually fine. I think 10 of them is good, but like, how do you deliver them? No one's running impulsors, right? Sorry, no one's running repulsors, which is the only transport you get that's 10. So, yeah, they need jump packs. They 100% need jump packs, scary. Yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow, 16 hours from now, to go over army lists, and then on Monday night this week, which is 7:30 UK time. So I don't know how many hours that is from now, but keep an eye out. Monday night, 7:30. We have a live game against Brett, who is bringing the new Orc Codex. I haven't actually seen his list at all. I will try and get it from him tomorrow so we can post it up into Discord. Usually I put the lists I'm fighting up into the members room and we can discuss and talk about lists. If anyone's got the new Orc Codex and one gives me some tips as well, that would be very much appreciated, because I do not know all their trickery yet. But I wanted to get a game against the new Orc Codex, especially before this tournament, so we can see some of the new stuff that Orcs have. I think he's bringing that army where everything is transhuman, basically. So again, it's another army that's going to totally counter Red Thirst. So snake bite wars or something. So that's going to be a fun one. But yeah, that's going to be live on Monday night. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you hanging out. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow or Monday, and then the final tier list video is going up next week as well. We'll probably have a reaction to episode 2 of Angels of Death next week too. So stay tuned. If you want more Blood Angels content, you can obviously hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you tomorrow. By the blood are we made. Have a great Saturday evening. Peace.